I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda from for this meeting.
I'd so move.
Second?
Second.
Moved in a second to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay.
I move we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Thank you, Rob.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from last meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Bills to be paid. Brandy?
Yep. Everything looks good.
Any questions for Francis?
You guys noticed that Snyder and Associates on there. Last meeting we had one on there, and we asked if that was the last bill, and then we got another one. So this is part of their hourly charge that they're gonna. I don't know. I don't know how long they're gonna continue to charge us this. Honestly, I mean, I don't know what this one's for. There was no explanation for it. Talked to Dave a couple of times, and he sent me an email back talking about we've got some things up there that we want to have done before we close the project out. Just a couple of little things like the culvert going under 7th Street next to the road. Looks like it's too short on the north side. It's longer on the south side than it is on the north side in the grade. Instead of going like that, it drops right off, so you can't really mow it. So he's gonna see if there's something that they can do about that. So I'm sure he's gonna charge us for that too.
We don't need an engineer to put a pipe on there.
No, I mean, I don't know when they're gonna stop charging
Just
us.
tell him he's done.
My suggestion would be that we vote to don't pay that bill, and get some form of explanation.
Well, I'll make a motion that we don't pay Snyder and Associates $662.40.
Until they define
Yeah,
what
till they give
Right.
us an explanation of what it's for.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to decline payment to Snyder and Associates until explanation is given further. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Okay, exclude that one, France. Any other questions?
Other than Wesco, what are we buying from them?
That is electric supplies. That's stuff for. Oh, go ahead, Franny. I'm
It's normal
sorry.
everyday
Like
stuff.
some of that's wire that they bought for us there, we got, you send us a bill for.
What's that?
Some of this Wesco is wire they picked up in Sioux City. We picked it up, but it went through the city, and then Myron was just gonna bill us for what they used. So they get a whole roll.
Who did it?
We went and picked it up. Myron ordered it, and we went to Sioux City and picked it up. It was for when we, down by our scale, we had.
Oh, for CPS.
Yeah,
Oh,
already a mess down there.
I see. I didn't get what you were saying by
Put
us.
that line
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah.
What's that Ferguson entity supply? It's just $61.
That's water or sewer. Just,
Okay.
Ferguson is a
fittings.
water
Okay,
company.
Storm Lake.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. I don't have any questions. Approval for the payroll, or for the bills to be paid?
Well, we already did that.
Oh,
You guys really did that.
okay. I don't have the payroll done yet. I will try and get to you that this week.
Okay.
I got 2 of them that I gotta get done for you.
At least that sounded like the motion to me, anyway. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Did we vote on it? It all went through?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the motion sounded to me like
Yep.
we would pay the
I
bills
know
except
Albert made it,
for
and I know
Snyder and
Ron seconded it,
Associates.
so.
Pay the bills except that one.
Right.
CDBG update.
So Joe sent me an update here. I told him not to come. Dave is planning to be back in Wall Lake. He thought this afternoon or tomorrow to work on the final connection to the well. The pipe is on the west side of the road, but they're not hooked together at the well and the pipe. So that's what he's going to work on today. They do have.
We have a golden spike to drive in that one.
Better.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's done, Rob. That doesn't mean that it's done. We still have some work to do inside the pump house, but,
Okay.
and it says that they wanna add a fire hydrant to the project. I thought they were gonna add well, we'll talk about that later. I guess I don't know. Yeah. I thought they were gonna add just a spigot, but they wanna add a fire hydrant to that, and
Out
what,
by the airport, where they wanna put it.
yeah, down there, just beside just beside where the wellhead is at.
Didn't we have one down there?
There is one down there,
There's
yes.
one laying there.
In the
The
ditch.
reason why they wanna do that, is, Sergeant wants them to do that. It makes it easier for them when they come and do it. Now, I told Joe, I said, we better find out what this is gonna cost us, because if we're gonna put something in just for Sergeant to do their work, you know, and I mean, if you put in a hydrant, it's gonna cost you $4,000 or $5,000. You know, is that something that we necessarily need just for Sergeant to do their work, you know? I
Cause
don't
we've got
know.
one down there, don't we, Francis?
Yeah, it is, but it won't be, it's not tied on the well line, but, it
Yeah.
comes off the tower.
They want it tied to the well line?
They want it right beside the well line for, when they go down
Backflushing
there
or
to do
something?
their work, they can flush out that line or something. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know exactly what it is. But it says that Dave is gonna get the cost for the hydrant, so I think we need to wait and see what that cost is gonna be. I'm just sure it'll be $5,000. I mean, when we had fire hydrants put in up here, they were $3,500 a piece, at least. So,
Do you, see a benefit to this, France? Any way that,
I don't know, I mean.
Other
there's no
than-
benefit
other
to
than
us,
for them?
and I
right,
don't-
that's what I mean. Is there any benefit to us?
No.
So, yeah, do
We
we?
need that much water, we'll go across the road and draw it off though, draw it out of the pit.
Yeah, well, the way it sounds to me, they wanna have a fire hydrant in there so they can open it up and draw water out of there for when they come and do maintenance on the well. And not to use the water to do the maintenance on the well, but just to pump the water out of there.
Pump the water out.
what would it cost them to just hook the current fire hydrant up to where it's at now?
Well, you had to be an all.
Well, you'd have to run
Cause that
a
line's
pipe.
coming from the tower, so it's not like they're different lines.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hooked right onto the well line.
Mm-hmm.
Ahead there.
Well, I think what I'll do, I mean, I told Joe today, I said, I don't know if we're gonna be too excited about that, but I'll talk to Dave King and see, you know, what he thinks. And I'll talk to Rick too and see what they think the advantage is, if there is any advantage to us. I don't think there is. I think it's purely for Sergeant, and, you know, my thought is if they wanna put it in, they can put it in. But,
Yeah, if we don't have to do that, I don't really see why we'd wanna spend another 5,000
right,
just for making it more convenient for them.
that's what I thought too.
I mean, that does not make sense to me.
I thought they were talking about a little hydrant.
Well, that's what I thought when
A little.
Rick, that day when he was
Yeah.
here, you know, he said, figured they'd have to put a little one there.
Yeah, I thought they were talking about just
You
a,
gotta have one on the pump house, but that one, all the lines are already in there for that, so.
Okay, anything else, Chris? Any update, any
Not-
questions?
not from
Open
Joe.
for discussion yet? Anybody? Chris? I'm gonna move on. Discuss, approve Sergeant Drilling well service contract.
Yeah, that's not on here. That was on the last meeting. If you guys remember, we had that contract on here and nobody really knew what was going on. Rick called the guy and they did that work in July. All they wanted us to do was say, go ahead and do it again next July. Well, I think we can wait till later on to tell them whether or not we want it done. I don't think we need to tell them now. And Rick actually said that the guy who did the work, came up and did the work, sent us that contract again, and then he called Derek, who is the manager, I guess, of this place, and he said, no, that, we shouldn't have done that, so that was nothing, basically. The only reason it's on here is so that I could tell you that it was pretty much nothing, so
Okay.
we'll worry about that again next summer.
July, yeah.
Spring or
Or,
fall,
yeah, June.
spring or summer, whatever.
Any questions for Chris on this? Cause we're just gonna blow this off until next June
Right.
or so.
They'll let us know again, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure. Discuss meeting update from committee meetings.
Yeah, I was in Kearney, Nebraska last Thursday, and before that,
We missed you in Ottawa.
yeah, I didn't get there. Before that, a month earlier, I was at a meeting and they were talking, some of the people were talking, you know, how we've been talking in our meetings about, you know, can we get out of Maine? Can we do something different? We're spending money where we don't need to spend money, and we're not the only town. Trust me. Everybody at those meetings talks about the same thing.
They're all pissed at him.
They're just, I mean, one guy told me that his mayor wanted to bankrupt their electric company so they could get out of Maine. Honestly, that's what he wants to do. He wants to bankrupt their electric company so he can get out. So we're not the only people who are upset, but I still don't. I honestly don't see a way for us to get out of it. I really don't.
Are these people aware that there's a lot of citizens or
Oh yeah,
county or cities that are upset,
yeah, yeah. They're all.
and they just blow it off like too bad, so sad? Or
No, they're not. I mean, they don't blow it off. They know that they have some fixed costs that are extremely high, and I guess what happened was they built a power plant in 2008 or 9. I don't remember exactly when it was, and they pay. Oh, I don't think I've got it right here in front of me, but they have.
estimate. Just
Yeah, they have $28 million worth of bond and bond interest payments every year that they have to pay, $28 million. And that's only half of their fixed costs. I mean, they have like salaries of almost $9 million. And I mean, it's just $55 million a year is their fixed cost. If they don't sell a
X
penny,
amount.
if they don't sell 1 kilowatt, they still have to pay the $55 million every year. And so they're trying to figure out a better way to bill their customers, us, and everybody else. Because we're going to get another charge probably in January or February of probably $9,000 or $10,000. And so they're trying to figure out a better way to bill their customers and to get their fixed costs covered. And so what they talked about was doing like a percentage, the whole pool together, and we sold like on your computer you can see on page 6. This is kind of a guess by me. If you look at total budgeted demand, Wall Lake is budgeted for 10,825 kilowatts of demand. The total company is budgeted for 2.4 million kilowatts. That's what Mean sells to their customers. So our percentage of that budget is 0.46%. So I took that 0.46% times 55 million and I came up with 251,000. That's our total fixed cost for Mean.
So our cost would be almost $21,000
A month.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah.
That's just the fixed cost. That doesn't have anything to do with energy. So then I figured out, I guessed at the energy that we use every year and kind of figured that cost of about another $11,000 or $12,000 a month. So if you add those two together, it's roughly $390,000 a year that we have to pay Mean if we do this. They haven't voted on this. This is just something that they're talking about doing. And I know there's some customers of theirs that aren't terribly excited about it.
I hope somebody got canned in their budgeting committee or their accounting committee.
Yeah, nobody's canned. I mean, they're not.
Somebody's filling their pockets.
Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, I think the whole problem is this big plant that they own and all this debt that they have. And we're involved in it too. So that's dragging them down. And
Their accounting firm should have told them that it wasn't feasible to do this at the point in time.
Yeah, but in 2009 it was feasible.
it was feasible, and they were making tons of money
5
then.
years ago when Obama just took over.
What they
Now our electric costs have.
Yeah, I know.
Right. What they should have done, this is what they should have done. back when they built this plant in whatever year it was, I don't know.
8 or 9.
They were
Yeah.
making an extra $20 million a year. Because they were making this electricity and they made extra electricity and they sold it on the open market and made a ton of money selling it on the open market. Now they can't do that because natural gas is so much cheaper than coal. So now they're losing money where then they were making money. They should have took the extra $20 million and put it in a bank account for today. They didn't do that.
I see.
So that's what they should have done. They didn't do it. We can't go back and change the past. It is what it is. But my thought is this is a good way to bill us because it's the most fair. We're getting billed for the demand and the energy that we use, not for something that we don't use. Now,
Not for blue sky.
right. Now, the way I've got it figured, and I may be wrong, this may not be right. Our cost is gonna increase by about $90,000 a year. Yeah, and then, there was a couple of people, the meetings that I've sat in so far are, committee meetings. So they're small groups of guys, 7 or 9, who are on a committee, services committee, ad hoc committee, blah, blah, blah committee, whatever it is. So I have no say in what goes on. I just listen to what they're talking about. And even at this, there are guys who are not happy. And they're not afraid to say, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this. We need to look at it a different way. They're not afraid to say that. So, I guess what I'm telling you is just what I found out there.
I know. And I'm glad you brought this to our attention because that's $90,000 that we could have used towards upgrading our facilities.
And that doesn't mean that this is what's going to happen.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
This is something that they're talking about. So I went and figured out what it would do to us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in November, there is a board meeting, and that's what I am part of. That's what Gary and I are part of, is the board. So we actually get a vote on this. The committee that sat and talked about it is, they will recommend this to the board, and then the board votes on it. So, I don't know what
They could take it in the shorts for a few years and
who's they?
means.
See, the thing that I didn't understand until I got on this board is mean is nothing. It's us. So when you say they can take it in the shorts, that means us.
Oh, okay.
They have bonds. Mean has bonds that they have sold in the amount of 28 or whatever $1 million it is. And they have to have enough revenue to pay those off. If they don't, they'll come and get it.
From us.
Right. From their customers, who are us. And it's just like our bond for up there. It says every year that if we don't have enough revenue to pay that bond, that the county auditor will levy whatever money they need from the citizens of Wall Lake to pay that bond. This is a public company.
Okay.
Mean is a public company. NMPP is a public company.
Now I understand.
So they can't default.
I know.
They don't have the option
have
of
that
defaulting. No. And since we're part of that company,
They're gonna come after everybody that's in there.
we're part of it. So
Okay, now that makes more sense. Now I understand where you're coming from.
now we're paying for, the mistakes that they made 10 years ago or whatever it is. So,
But if Obama keeps pushing this coal, it's gonna cost us more yet, because they'll have to shut that down and go to natural gas.
no, they aren't gonna shut it down.
Yeah.
He's gonna what?
He's only got 2 more years.
I hope.
That's,
No, they won't shut the plant down.
that's 3 too many.
They talked about that.
They have,
They talked about selling it. This committee that I sat and listened to, they talked about selling it. Can't we just get out from under it?
they can't do that probably.
Well, they could sell it.
Yeah, but they won't give out what they're.
Right.
Yeah.
So a $28 million bond every year, how big of a bond is that? That's gotta be hundreds of millions of dollars. Probably 500 million, So if that plant cost them $500 million and they still owe $300 million on it, they may be able to sell it for $100 million.
Yeah.
You know, so that wouldn't be a good idea.
No,
option.
no.
No. So, this is just something, you know, for you guys to think about. It's not good news, but it doesn't mean it's gonna happen either.
Sounds like our reinsurance company. Take it like it or take it don't like it.
Right.
It's your choice.
Okay.
That's all there is to it.
Question.
There will be a board meeting in November, and I don't know exactly the date. I would guess it would be the 20th? The third Thursday?
Mm-hmm, that'd be about right.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the 20th. So it'll be right around there sometime. And I don't know how much information they will give to the board members, like us. You know, I don't know, because there's nobody else at those meetings. No. Just the committee members and the people who work at Maine, and then maybe one other city besides me. And that's
Really?
it, yep. That's it. There's maybe a dozen people in the room, and that's it.
But just the CEO and represent.
Well, yeah, not even the CEO. I mean, he was there at the last meeting, and the meeting before that, he wasn't at that one. So, I mean, I don't know what he does, but there is representation from Maine there. So,
Okay. Any further discussion? Questions for Chris? Any questions you got right now? Make sure you ask him now, because very good, Chris. That
Well,
was
but,
very
yeah.
informative.
I mean, a lot of times when you hear information like this, you gotta digest it. So if you have questions,
Yep. you
Don't
can
be afraid to
come
call.
talk to Chris.
Huh?
We ran out of Vaseline.
Yeah.
that's the worst part.
That thing's still on.
Yeah, it's on.
Well, like Chris said, if you've got more questions or you're not sure about something and you want to ask another question, come down and talk to Chris. That was very, very good, Chris. I really appreciate that. That helped me out tremendously. So.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, discuss electrician applicants and or hire.
Okay, I think I put a
7.
put a page in here. Just talks about the applicants that we got, and what I really want to do is, you know, you see the questions there. Do we want to have a special meeting to discuss the applicants? When do we want to do that? Do we want to decide when we're going to hire them, if we're going to hire them, that kind of thing? And that meeting would have to be a closed meeting because we will have the applications in front of us, and we'll be able to discuss
I'm gonna talk to
people
Rob
that are on it.
and Franny because they're seasoned. Don't we want to have like a new meeting and have them people brought in so that we can kind of?
We want to bring him in.
I don't think we want to bring them in yet. I think we want to look at the applications
Yeah,
first.
okay, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And then that way we can talk it over and kind of
Right.
discuss things. And
Because honestly, I mean, you're
That way-
gonna come up with maybe 2 people.
well, that way you can narrow your applications down, and then you can come up with interview questions that you want to ask
Right.
when the interview comes about.
Yeah, when you guys see the applications, you'll know that you're probably only gonna have 2 good applicants. They're relatively close to Wall Lake. They're not asking for $24 an hour, that kind of thing. And they're actually, you know, they've actually worked in the electric field. So, I mean, it'll be relatively simple to see. It's just something that we have to sit down and do.
What would you guys think about a new meeting then?
Oh, a new meeting leaves Ron out.
That kill you, Ron? Does that kill you? New meetings?
I won't be here, so.
Well,
When you leaving?
you ain't leaving until November.
November's
Saturday.
right around the corner.
Yeah, I
Thursday
know.
night,
Huh?
Thursday night.
Oh, no shit.
Are you back at work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday night, a week from this Thursday then. Oh, you're leaving in October.
The 30th.
29th we go to Omaha, and the 30th we take off. I think the 29th.
There's no way we can catch him in then.
Unless we do it tomorrow.
Well, I know who the applicants are, because I've already looked at them. so.
Yeah, he's actually looked at the
I've
application,
looked
so.
at the application already. And there's only one,
Is there any way, Chris, that he can do a call-in?
Yeah,
Conference call.
yeah, you can conference call. And since it's closed, that'll make it easier, cause it'll be kinda like what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
There won't be anybody else in the room.
Well, if you guys wanna do it as soon as possible,
I don't,
No, we don't have to do it as soon as possible, we just better let him get down and get settled.
Well, see, one of the things that we need to talk about is when we wanna really hire this person, and my thought has kinda always been maybe March
after the first year.
Oh, yeah.
1st, 15th,
after the frost.
somewhere in there.
Yeah,
I mean, probably, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we hired them now,
I
and then
thought
get
we-
some training done, but,
I thought Byron wanted him to go through that one schooling.
see, I don't know when that is. And Myron already was at an underground school. He did that in the beginning of October, so,
I thought he wanted to have the new hire go through, and I can't.
he does. He does, but it's not, that school isn't just there that you can go do it.
Oh, okay, it's not open.
No. You can't just go do it.
Oh.
It's,
I thought it was in the spring of the year, wasn't it?
yeah, it's offered at certain times, and I think it's in the spring and in the fall.
I think it was in the spring when the one
Yeah.
was.
So probably March, I think that's one thing I'll check on, and then that'll help us, because if it's March 15th, we don't wanna hire the guy March 20th.
Oh, Grace,
I mean, we'd just soon hire him 2 weeks before that and let him go.
Well, we don't have to jump ship right away and get him hired by December 15th, and so we've got a little lag time.
yeah, find out.
When are you coming
that's-
back then?
April 1st.
April.
Next year, I don't think we'll be going till maybe January.
Well, we gotta get him hired before then, but that will help us, so. Let's,
One other thing about that,
Yeah.
school. Mean actually gives out grants for this kind of thing, so we could
Get it while we can.
we could get a grant.
Well, apply for a grant.
Paying for it anyway.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so,
yeah, I agree. Let's table this until,
Well, in the meantime, I would suggest everybody stop in and at least look at them.
Yeah, because I've already looked at the applications. I've read-
why don't we have, some sort of decision and put it on the agenda for like the first meeting in December, Chris? Will that be good enough?
that's fine with me, I don't care.
Objection, council?
It's up to you guys.
And then we'll try and let Albert know, and maybe he can call in and
Yeah, I'll be talking to Chris, I'm sure.
conference call. Okay with you, Rob?
Find out
Yeah,
what's
when's
going
Fabe's
on.
going south?
He usually goes in
It
January, I
goes
think,
January, I think.
January to
Okay.
March.
Let's have this on the first meeting in December meeting. Discuss, approve, cheat teamwork with IDEA.
Seat. That's,
Cheat.
yeah, that's fine if that's what you wanna call it. Yeah, this is, what is that, the Energy Conservation Program, Energy Management Program, I don't remember exactly what it's called. But Rob and I went to a meeting in Storm Lake, the end of September. And then one of the guys from that meeting came down and met with me, 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And part of the efficiency program is getting a team together that this guy can work with. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. He said that some towns have 2 people, the city clerk and, a business owner or something. And so it doesn't have to be a huge team of people, but, some people who maybe are, who want to be, involved in energy conservation. Rob comes to mind, and I know Rob does a lot already with the council. He's on every committee, and but energy conservation is a big deal for him because he owns a store.
Well, I
So-
think I should try and be on there for CPS's sake.
Yeah.
So we want to try and conserve as much as possible out there.
So the reason why I have this on here just is to ask some questions of some people who you think may be interested in being on that. And we don't have to answer that question tonight, but think about it. I think Lynn and I will certainly be on it, for, you know,
Citizens,
right. I mean, for the whole city for one, but also for information, getting information. One of the things that he saw right away was our streetlights. He thinks that's one thing that we can save money on right now. He was telling me that one town did a complete change out of streetlights from incandescent or whatever they are to LED, and he said it was a 2-year payback.
I've heard that.
So
I've heard that.
that's pretty good payback. And I think it would cost us around $35,000 to do our whole system. But my thought is do we want to do that now while we're
Doing
talking
an
about doing the
electrical
rebuild,
upgrade.
or do it while we're doing our rebuild, you know? So that's things that we got to think about.
I think maybe biodiesel. Would we want to have somebody from there to see if they can?
I don't know. I mean, they don't get any electricity
already
from
seems
us,
that.
so
No use giving them a benefit from us.
Yeah.
yeah.
Halleck doesn't really use, other than their pumps, do they? I don't
Halleck.
foresee a.
Everything of theirs is run by electricity.
Yeah, they're all electric.
Twilight? Yep.
Twilight Acres might be a really good one. Yeah, Sylvia might be a good one, Steve.
I don't know, CPS Uptown, France?
Only both of us in there. If you're gonna be down, I'm gonna be in there.
Huh?
If he's gonna be down, I'm gonna be in there.
Yeah.
Save the wholesale, screw the retail.
Is that what it is?
Oh, now we're jumping ship.
I was always told the retail pays the bills.
Ah, that ain't the truth.
That ain't true. Okay.
No.
Well, I think this is a good start. I think I'll talk to Sylvia, and
School even too, school's probably.
School, yeah, that'd be a
school
good.
might
one.
be a Steve Nutzman maybe from the school.
Either that or who's your principal up here?
Somebody that knows billing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
that'd
know
be a
if
good
you
one.
want-
Thanks, Rob. That's a good one. Very good one.
I'll talk to Nutzy. He's the buildings coordinator, so he understands
Is
what's
there
going on in the
anybody-
buildings.
Downtown, and the only one that comes to my mind, because I don't know if you use a lot of electricity or not, would be like Darren Boger at Lake Lanes.
Yeah, he uses a fair amount, but not.
He's not extravagant. What about Fitzgerald's?
You wouldn't get anybody from there. They're
No,
hardly there the way it is
they're
anyway.
so scattered.
You can never find him anyway.
I think this is a pretty good start right here. I really do. So
Okay.
we'll get that worked out, and we'll come back to you next month or next time.
Okay. Any other questions? Discussion? Want me to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Discuss, approve Lynn Grossley's promotion to deputy city clerk.
Yeah, and I should have had this on the last meeting when we
We talked about it.
talked about her. Yeah. This just goes right along with her increase in pay. I mean,
Did she
that
go,
was
isn't there a school that you said she's had to go to, or?
she was at Power Manager last week.
I didn't know if that had anything to do with this, or.
That's Power Manager is our billing software, and so that's just a training that
I know you
go
said
to
something about to get her upgraded to the salary she's at. It would be nice to have her have that high-class title, and that it wouldn't.
Well, along with the title, she can do more things.
Yeah. Yes, that's
That's what
correct.
it boils down to.
Yeah.
I want to make a motion, we approve Lynn Grossley's promotion to deputy deputy city clerk.
I like this deputy do right. I like to see you call her that when you walk in.
I will. I'll be walking out the door and I'm calling her that.
Yeah.
She's at a volleyball game, so wait until she gets home.
Did I get a second? I didn't hear if I got a second or not.
I'll second it.
I'm gonna write that in the paper too.
Moved and seconded to approve Lynn Grossley as deputy city clerk to the city of Wall Lake. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Rob, you gotta be proud of me.
Oh, you guys.
No, I thought that was gonna be a roll call.
Did you really? I wondered about that.
Yeah, I really did.
Okay. Discuss, AFR fiscal year 2014.
Well, now where the hell is mine at? Ooh, everybody gets a copy but me, huh?
Well, there's one laying down there by Faber.
Oh yeah, there, hand me that one. All right, this is something that we have to do every year, and Rob, you and Franny have seen this before. So all I basically do, the front page,
Oh, I've seen this. Hell yes, I've seen this.
the
5
front,
years.
the front page is, this is all a spreadsheet in Excel, and the front page calculates by itself. So flip that one over and then go to the second page, and everything in there, I just go through our little clerk's report right here. This is June 30th. So this is our year ending clerk's report. So it's got all the totals in it.
He's using both.
Yep, he's using both of them.
Yeah, so I'm on page 2 here, Albert.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, cause it would take us way past 8 o'clock, and we don't wanna do that, do we, Franny?
Okay,
To go through, get your numbers through here.
yeah.
But I just wanna show you a couple of examples. They're relatively simple. If you look at our clerk's report on page, well, this first page here, it's the general fund. It's got some scribbling on it. Turn 2 pages and you'll be at it. Is everybody there? Okay, if you go down to the bottom there, about 3/4 of the way down where it says general property tax on the left side, and right below that it says ag land tax. And then you go over to the right column where it says year-to-date balance, and general property tax is $137,963.96, and ag land is $26.84. If you add those two together, you will get line 2 on page 2 of this report, $137,991. So that's what I do. I take these numbers and input them in this spreadsheet, and just do that all the way through. It's relatively simple, but it can get to be a little bit complicated because some of these numbers have several numbers inside of it. And I tried to write down notes on here so I know what I did last year. This is a once a year deal, so
I can see you'd forget.
yeah, I mean, it's not something that you remember.
Yeah.
I remember your first year. You pulled your hair out.
Let me
Guess
tell you
why don't
something.
have anything now.
My first year, I worked on this sucker for at least a month.
I remember
Now, now it's not so bad. It takes
getting to be old hat now.
me a week to do it, and I don't work on it constantly for a week, but I work on it for a couple hours a day, and
The first year, I think you had John Morrow had to help you a little bit, didn't he?
John definitely helped me a lot. Not only John, Scott Peterson, Adam Ledford, people from other towns help you. And the state's really good too. If you got a question, they'll
Just call them and
do their best to answer that question.
If I remember right, if you had a screw up, they will call you and
They will certainly give you a call and let
they will,
you know.
They will fix you out. So
No.
there's not a penalty.
They'll walk you through it.
Yeah. What Chris is trying to tell you, there's not a penalty. There's not a I'm going to slap your ass if you did it wrong type thing.
No.
They will help you out through this.
That's sexual harassment.
So if you guys just look at this one now. I just want to walk you through one other thing, just the spreadsheet one. If you look at page 2, 3, 4, and 5, those are all of our revenues that we get. And you guys think, we get revenue from electric and water and gas, but
Sewer,
we get revenue from park rent. We get revenue from people who don't turn in their books at the library, and we get revenue from all kinds of different places. So that's our total revenue there. And then from page 6 to page 12 is our expenses. Those are all of our expenses. And those are all broke down And buy all kinds of stuff too. I mean, if you look on page 8, line 91, water, air, and mosquito control. We paid $2,200 last year for mosquito control. And so you just start punching those numbers in there, and you come up with what hopefully equals what's on here. So what I do is I go through this and I get our total expenses and our total revenues from this report, and then I make sure that those match up on here. And if they're
Into the right column.
if they're a little bit off, then I try to make sure I figure out where that's at, and then certainly in the right column. And then the very last page, page 13, it's another up and down one. That one has on it several things. It has our long-term debt, so our bonds that we have. I also put on there our TIF, some of our TIF debt, like the rebates that we owe, some of that stuff. It also has, we also have to show our total salaries, and then it also shows us our debt limitation for our general obligation bonds.
The salaries, is that full-time as well as part-time?
That's everything,
Everybody.
everything. That's
Is
pool.
that, does that include council?
No, they're not on our payroll.
Okay,
That they're council and
separate-
council and the mayor are
a separate entity. type
yeah.
thing.
What are they? They're
They get fees.
yeah. They're just like general. They're contractors.
Okay,
So
okay.
one thing that's new this year is in the top left hand corner of that page 13, intergovernmental expenditures. And I know I'm gonna catch an awful lot of shit for this, but we've really got to start looking at our library. I mean, if you look at that number, we pay $30,000 a year for our library. They come and ask us for $19,000 every year, but if you figure up everything that we pay to that library, they go over budget a little bit generally, and then the lights and the heat and the water. And we're paying $30,000 for our library every year.
Does that include like Jody and Kathy's salary?
Yeah, that's everything. That's everything.
So we're looking at $50,000 a year almost.
Yeah. It's because I suppose we get somewhere around $18,000 a year from the county for the library too. So it's a $50,000 a year business.
So,
So-
cool.
Yep.
Okay, questions? Discussion?
Good job.
Yeah, very good, Chris. I remember going through this, the first year you went through it, and you said, I don't know, Steve, if I'm cut out for this job or not. I remember you saying that to me.
Just takes a little bit of time.
Yep.
It takes a little bit of time, is right, Ron. Yeah, so that is just a discussion. This is due to the state by December 1. So, we don't have to do anything in the next meeting. We'll probably talk about it again, and then we'll approve it at the
Why
next
don't
meeting
you,
or at the last meeting in November.
I would recommend that all council take this home, kind of go through it, digest it. If you got any questions, come down and talk to Chris. Ask Chris. His door's always open. I'm sure
Yeah,
he'll,
except when
I was
you're
there-
gambling.
I was here yesterday, that wasn't open.
Actually,
You
what
will-
time were you here yesterday? Because I was
I don't
here.
know.
you will,
Afternoons.
I was working on that thing yesterday.
when will
Morning.
Gary be back?
I don't know.
You will have to schedule an appointment because when Faber gets back, I'm sure Gary will be in his
Every time he
office.
comes in here, I only get once a week.
Tell him to go down and bother Rob for a while.
Shit, he bothered
Yeah, I
me
leave you alone
a
now.
couple times.
Huh?
last
I
week.
leave you alone.
Yeah, I never see you.
When's the next meeting?
Okay.
I go in and bother him, but I hope it ain't as bad as Gary.
Yeah, Gary's got some pretty good ideas sometimes.
We'll see if he's looking for somebody after. He calls.
What a hard ass.
Make him run.
Okay.
I miss Alfred.
Wait till I hear that in town.
He's my pal.
The deal up there when they was demonstrating that digger, holy shit, I had to leave. I had to walk away from him like.
Okay, anything more for Chris on the FY 2014? Because we will go through it again, but like I say, go through this, digest this a little bit. If you got any questions for Chris, come down and talk to him. Chris will help you out and walk you through it and explain the numbers he put down. Because if you're disagreeing or you don't understand where it comes from, correct, Chris?
Mhm.
Okay.
Does the state give you a report on your report?
They just approve it, don't they?
No, they acknowledge that they received it, and then they will like, oh man, I can't remember what they did last year.
Every once in a while they get on our.
There's some sort of a.
But they do. Last year, a guy called me and said, "Hey, you didn't put this in the right spot, so change it." You know, and this was probably in January, so it's not anything that I had to bring back to council and get it approved. It was just a number that was in the wrong column or wrong spot, and so so yeah, they do look at
I
them.
do look at it too.
Yeah, you bet.
I thought, I'm trying to remember right, Chris, but I thought something about the acknowledged receipt plus approval, or it's okayed, or it's been on file, or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's all electronic now, so we
Yeah.
upload it electronically, and then we get a page that says that it was received, and
Yeah.
and this has to be published. So, you know, this is something that actually we will have to approve it at the next meeting,
Okay.
so we can get it published and get it in. So
Discuss approve Sac County environmental health and zoning application.
another one, Jeff Herrick's going to build a building, so we just have to offer any suggestions, just like the last one. And I don't know what we'd offer a suggestion.
Is he within city limits, that road?
No. He's
So
not.
where is this at?
His house.
At his house.
The house up there.
Yeah, no.
This is. Do you remember the last time we did this? Just a
It's on
month
the north side
ago.
of the road.
This is not something that we approve or disapprove.
Oh, okay.
This is something that we give suggestions on. You know, we'd like to see this, or we wouldn't like to see this, or whatever it is. The way it looks to me is when you drive into Jeff's driveway, you're going straight north,
Yep.
and when you drive straight off of his driveway, you'll drive into his new building. That's going to be 72 feet long and 68 feet wide. So,
Called the shop.
yep. Then there's drawings. If you look down at the last couple of pages,
Lots of windows.
there's drawings. So,
Second story.
yeah. Looks to me like it's a playhouse for the kids, but
Or should I be like Gary and go like?
that's what I would do.
Just roll your eyeballs.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't figured out how to turn this shit yet, so I ain't gonna worry.
View. Go to
Go
view.
to view.
Rotate view.
Which, right here?
View,
View.
right up here. View.
Oh, there, I see it.
You go and click on the view itself. There you go. Now say
Wow.
rotate.
There is a lot of windows.
Yeah,
And go
it's
slide
gonna be a
over
big building.
No
Go ahead,
shit.
Slide whichever rotate, whichever way you want to
Do
rotate.
it clockwise.
Counterclockwise.
See the application,
Do it upside down.
Yeah.
And just rotate
Well,
it,
72
keep
by
rotating.
68, that's 4,000
Go
square
back
feet,
over
or
view again.
almost 5,000 square
Actually,
feet.
the 68's 12 feet with that little lean-to on the side, it's actually 56 feet.
Oh.
Yeah, just go back over to view and then you gotta drop down to rotate.
Whatever this is on the side.
Yeah.
And drop and then slide over.
Nevertheless,
Oh, I gotta go back and do it again then.
You're getting onto it. You're gonna be a computer expert by the time you get down to Texas.
Hey! Well, I just
You'll be able to show Faber how to do it.
get a big hammer.
Oh shit.
Here, Faber, sit right next to me. I'll show you how to do this.
Come here, Gary, let's have our own council meeting.
Sit next to him for God's sakes.
You will, have to, because you'll be late getting in.
Hey, Albert. If Rob pays me enough, by the time you come back, you could be
I'll be
sitting across
sitting over
the over there, and Rob will be sitting over here.
Well, he had 1 year left.
That's all
Sure, yeah,
right.
when
I'll
you-
bring my ball bat along.
16. He's
No.
so next year you'll vote, and
Yep.
then 16 he'll be done,
Okay.
January 1st.
Okay.
So
Nobody's running this year.
no,
Nope. We're all still here. All for the duration.
You got somebody that's interested?
For mine.
Okay. Any questions? I mean, you don't want a motion, you said.
No.
You just,
If you guys have some suggestions for them, then we'd take a motion, but otherwise, I mean, I don't know what we'd say, honestly.
I would suggest we don't say anything.
I would suggest that too.
Well, that's
good suggestion. Good suggestion.
Knowing Jeff, he's gonna take your suggestion and tell you where to put it.
Sun don't rise there. Or side. Very good. Chris, did you get an email from Adam Ledford on the meeting we had in Ottawa?
No.
You did not. Okay, I won't be to work tomorrow. I seen she showed you where I was going. I've got, Albert, you probably didn't get it either because you don't have email. I got the email from that HR representative, and Albert and I disagreed on several points that he had. And I'll just bring up one thing is, he thought it was illegal for the city of Wall Lake to include all employees on drug testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, unplug it.
I disagreed, Albert disagreed, there was other cities in the town that disagreed, because Agrium right now has everybody on the drug pool. He says, you can't do that, that's illegal. Well, I'm trying to check that out because I don't believe in that.
Well, we don't have everybody in the drug pool anyway.
You're in it.
We have all of our full-time people in it, and that's it.
He said that all we had to have in it was full-time CDL drivers. Right, Albert?
But, okay, but what he doesn't know is that we have a gas system. And the reason why these people are in this is because of our gas system. If you take a phone call that has anything to do with the gas system, you have to be drug tested.
I thought he asked
That's
you
why,
that.
that's why we're doing what we're doing.
He said something about that, but I can't remember exactly.
I don't
what he
remember
said.
either.
And we use St. Luke's, consortium. It's a pool of small,
That's
Small
fine.
towns just like us.
I'm just telling you that Albert and I disagree with
Oh,
him.
yeah, I disagree with him on more than one thing down there.
And then he said
For the
that,
big city is what he's for.
he said that,
That's who pays his way.
Yeah.
you're a good example, and Lynn's a good example, that we offer sick pay, correct?
yeah.
That sick pay is good for you and you only. And I said, no, I said, that's wrong.
So like if my kids are sick, I can't take that?
That's right. And
Yeah.
Albert and I, we weren't the only ones, were we, Albert?
No, that was,
There was about 4 other cities got up and they almost went up there and corralled him.
I mean, that's,
And
Like
we
I
told
said,
him that maybe that's good for cities like Des Moines,
bigger
because
cities.
you don't know who's screwing the city over.
Yeah.
But back here in Wall Lake, Iowa, or what have you,
Everybody-
that's a morale booster.
Everybody screws us over.
You know, you can't do this kind of shit. So anyway, if you didn't go to Ottawa, you missed. Albert and I thought the same thing. We thought this is going to be a bullshit meeting,
oh, I did. I thought, oh, man.
but it was a very, very good meeting.
It was.
I would like to see as many of us that we can go to Lamar's next month. I'll talk to Dick up there and see what the meeting's about. But, you know, sometimes you look at it and you say, the meeting sucks, I ain't going to this son of a bitch. But Albert and I were really surprised.
Yeah, I thought that's gonna be, get up and go out, you'd be better off. By golly, it was worth it.
And I've got all the things that he presented, and I'm gonna email it to you. I will email it to you and Lynn, both.
Okay.
And then you can forward it on to council if you'd like. So, that's my part.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay.
You gonna have roll call?